Good morning. It's about 10 o'clock now. I'm here live. Before we begin the stream, I'd like to ask everybody watching to remove your hats and place your hands on your sparks for the Star Spangled Banner. I know it's not the best performance, but I did just wake up. Thank you for anyone who showed the proper respect for the anthem of our country. And now we may begin. Since America's foundation, there have been people who did not love her. There have been people who outright hated her. There have been people who wanted to see her destroyed. Very, very much so since her foundation. It began with British loyalists, still loyal to the crown. The British loyalists made trouble wherever possible for the new country. From the time she fought against the tyranny of the British to the time where she wrote up her own constitution, British loyalists stayed to make trouble. They hated her. They were subject to her laws. They were protected by her laws, and they hated her, no matter how much freedom she gave them. And it wasn't just British loyalists. On down the years, we've gained new enemies. We've not only been the enemy of tyrannies such as kingdoms, but to tyrannies such as socialism, communism, globalism, and probably our latest threat, Islam. There are Muslim refugees pouring into our country who live to see her destroyed. They do not want a better life. They're leeches. They're leeches. They come and they suck off the very lifeblood of any people whose country they inhabit. And then they strive to destroy that country in favor of a worldwide Muslim empire they're trying to build. They've been trying to build that since the inception of Islam. They don't care about freedom. In fact, they hate freedom. Freedom goes against them. And what's even more sickening is America's own people are turning their backs on her in favor of the very people in the Middle East trying to kill them. They're turning their backs on freedom in favor of oppression. There are people who hate America because of her freedom, because of religious freedom, because of the right to keep and bear arms. There are people that hate America because of the freedom of speech. There are people that hate America simply because that she allows her people to make their own dollars and to spend them as they please. Although there's been more and more taxes added on since the foundation. There have been moles that have been elected into various places in government office, including the highest place, the Supreme Court, and the very presidency under which America runs. There have been moles of globalists, of socialists, of communists. There has been moles such as Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and many more. And they make America more socialist by the day. They make herself more the enemy of herself and her people every day. And it will take patriots to fix it. Only we're running out of patriots. There are people in this country who burn the flag. People in this country who want to tear up the Constitution. People in this country who hate patriots like myself. People because they love their country, and the assholes that hate them for loving their country don't. That's bigotry. That's intolerant bigotry. And the left is completely intolerant. The tolerant ones are the ones in the middle and in the right. Not the left. The left is intolerant as hell. If you go against their narrative, they hate you, they ostracize you, they call you names like racist, sexist, xenophobic, whatever they could think of, because you don't agree with them. No evidence to the contrary. If you love your country, they call you xenophobic. If you raise the American flag, they call you racist. If you sing the Star-Spangled Banner, they call you bigoted and hateful. Here's a message to all you America haters. If you are in this country, you are protected by her laws. You are subject to her laws. The reason you're allowed to go and spout your shit to burn the flag is because of America's laws, because she is protecting you. She is protecting your rights. Even though you're abusing those rights, she is protecting you. Let's be very clear on that. And then there's people like you that make me sick. People like you that think we're living in a tyrannical country when you are out in the open spouting your disloyal shit and nothing's happening to you. That doesn't seem tyrannical to me. That seems like freedom of speech to me. That seems like tolerance to me. Yet you're the intolerant ones, and you call us intolerant. Liberals are the most intolerant, most bigoted, most hateful, and most racist people I've ever seen in my life. Ever. They equate voting ideology and political ideology to skin color. They equate people's personal opinions to how they look. They're racists. And they think that the black man is somebody to be coddled, to be given everything to, rather than to be given a fair shake like everybody else, to be given a chance to make something of his life like everybody else. The left wants to protect minorities because they don't think they can make it on their own. That's racism. As for me, a man is a man no matter what color he is. A woman is a woman no matter what color she is. And they have full equality under the law. At least they should be. They didn't when affirmative action came in, and there's inequality now. There should be complete, total equality under the law. And everybody deserves the same chance. Not the same outcome, the same chance, the same chance at life. Everybody deserves that. We're born with the right to make our lives as we see fit. To make our lives through our actions, through our decisions. We have the right to make something of ourselves. Everybody has that right. And the left is trying to take that right away because they think themselves the benevolent masters of the minorities. You racist bastards. At the same time that they're spending the dollars that they steal out of our bank accounts every single time we get any sort of payment, they are bashing the very people whose tits they're sucking off. They are bashing working class Americans. They're calling them dumb, poorly educated idiots. They're calling them rednecks and all that kind of stuff. Yet it's off of our dime that they're doing all these social programs. It's off of our dime that they could take their little flights around the world. It's off of our dime that the government is working. It's off of our dime that the streets are being paved. And it's off of our dime that some fat ass is sitting in his mommy's basement playing video games all day because he's had everything handed to him. I'm going to make this really clear. Right here and right now. The flag of the United States of America is a sacred symbol. It is a symbol which glows bright within me, a symbol that I love dear. Now, I may be going against the First Amendment with this, but if I see anybody burning the American flag of either the United or the Confederate States, that somebody is going to get his ass whipped. That somebody is going to see what it's like to be trampled on. I will tread on you if you burn the flag. I have absolutely no problems doing that. It is getting out of hand, out of control. More and more people every day are becoming disloyal, self-serving, ungodly heathens. In other words, Democrats. It's exactly what they are. I don't get it. I don't get why things are going the way they are. How the answers are right in front of people's noses. All they have to do is look into a book to find them. And they refuse to. Instead, they turn on the fake media and they believe every word of what they say without even checking one little thing that they set off their mass-produced scripts. I fear the Republic is dead. I fear the only way to breathe new life into it is through civil war. And whether that's true or not, I think that civil war is unavoidable. We are more divided than we were in 1860. The year that North Carolina seceded from the Union, and 10 states followed her in the years to come. We are more divided now than we were then. I'm surprised there hasn't been another secession. I'm surprised there hasn't been another rebellion. I am surprised that anybody's living in peace at all. There's so much hatred and bigotry going around, perpetuated by the left, and it's only gotten worse under Obama, that I'm surprised there's not daily looting in the street. There's been a lot of riots. There's been a lot of looting. There's been a lot of people that's been beaten up for their skin color, for their color of their voting card, for the flag that they fly. There's been people beaten up. There's been people tortured. Like that poor retarded kid that was tortured live on Facebook and nobody did a goddamn thing about it. And he was tortured because of his skin color. And the three racists who did this, were shouting anti-white slurs. They were shouting anti-American things and things against Donald Trump, which I don't even know if they knew how this guy voted. I don't even know if this guy even cares about who's president. They picked on him because he was an easy target. That's what the left does. The left picks on easy targets. They don't pick on somebody that has an advantage of any kind whatsoever. They don't pick somebody that has a fair shake in it that's equal to them. They pick an easy target. They're bullies. They are bullies. And they try to spread fear, propaganda, and hatred through bully tactics, through terrorist tactics. I'm looking at you, Antifa. If you don't love America, don't change her. Get out of her. Get away from us. Get away from our Constitution. Get away from our flag. Get away from our rights. You don't think we should have them? Go to a country that doesn't have them. See how long that you last. See how you like it before you try to impose it on us. I'm angry. I am pissed the fuck off. Very rarely do I let it out. But when I let it out, I let it out. I am very, very, very angry at what is going on. I am very angry at what I see, and I am very, very sad at what my country is turning into. They are pushing her farther and farther from the light. It's going like Rome. Rome was a republic at one time, before she became tyrannical. Rome had a moral center before she fell apart. Rome was probably the strongest empire of her time. And as the years went by, the people became less and less moral. Homosexuality was running rampant. Nobody defeated Rome. Rome fell apart, just kind of went away. And I think that's what's happening here. When our society falls apart through the sin of our times, we won't just go away. We will be conquered. We will be conquered by the Europeans, conquered by the Middle Easterns, conquered by the Africans. We'll be conquered by any country that has a mind to when our society falls apart. And we have to band together. I don't care what color you are, what religion you are, what sex you are. We are in this together. We have to learn to judge by character, not by color. We have to judge by personality, not by physical attachments to our body. We have to stop with this leftist, racist, sexist shit. We have to stop with the Antifa, with the BLM. We have to stop with the whole third wave feminism thing. Feminism once had a place. First and second wave. Even second wave was starting to get a little bit out there. But third wave feminism is all the way fucking gone. I mean, it's like going to Cybertronian or going to Cybertron, gone. Third wave feminism is, hell, it's even farther than Cybertron. It's all the way at Mount fucking Olympus. That's how far it is. That's how far it is. Mount fucking Olympus. The left is going farther and farther left every day. And what worries me is that this Cortez girl, this girl that don't know her ass from a hole in the ground, she is in the House of Representatives. And that we're headed down the path where somebody that stupid might possibly be elected to the presidency of the United States. It's ridiculous. And it has to be stopped. We have to control this. We have to put a lid on this. How to do that is to become a real society again. We have to put away our cell phones, our computers. We have to put away the newspapers, turn off the television, get out and meet people. Make friends with random strangers. Show love and kindness to each other. We have to do that and more. We have to bring the Lord back into schools. We have to teach the Bible to kids, that they grow up with moral lessons, moral teachings, that they grow up knowing what the right thing to do in life is. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. That kind of thing. That's been lost. We have to teach the Pledge of Allegiance in school. We have to teach America's songs in school. We have to teach the true version of her history in school. And go back to telling the stories of American folk heroes around the campfires. We have to reignite the spirit of America. We have to reignite what we have lost. Pretty soon, the way things are going, America's spark will be extinguished. I could see it flickering in her eyes. And socialist policies and programs, leftist thinking, is pretty much like Dark Energon. It doesn't really reignite the spark so much as bring a zombie. We have to find the true way to reignite the spark. To reignite America's spark. We can't use Dark Energon. We cannot use leftist thinking, leftist ideologies. We cannot use socialism. Socialism was what brings down countries financially and morally and militarily. We need to protect our borders, our children, our very people. We need to protect ourselves. And we need to protect our country. We need to protect our Constitution. Stop bringing in refugees and stop paying for everybody in the fucking world. We have to start using our money to take care of ourselves and to take care of our people. And if you want to put in social programs, don't put it into anybody but the people who have served this country, the veterans. That's the only way we could stay afloat here. That's the only way we could be fair with the taxpayers' money, is to look after the people who have come here from war, from defending their country, from preserving our freedom. We have to take care of them when they come back here to nothing. To nothing, not even in a house. That problem was most common after the Vietnam War. When veterans, they came home, they found that lawyers took their wife and their kids. Their wife and kids took the house. if they had wife and kids to begin with. Nobody would give them jobs. Nobody would give them a place to stay because the Vietnam War was unpopular. I don't give a fuck if the war was unpopular. Those people were drafted to fight for their country, and they answered America's call. They answered when their country called to them. It wasn't their war. They didn't ask. The government asked. And they obeyed. And you're going to punish them for defending their country, for following their orders? And you're going to punish other people who are not ordered to go to their country, but to ask to serve their country? Patriots serve their country. Americans serve their country, and in my point of view, only Americans vote. If you don't vote, you're not a real citizen of the United States. You're nothing more than a number on a piece of paper if you don't vote, if you don't love this country. And if you want to tear down statues, take down flags, get the fuck out. Leave us alone. That's all we want, is to be left to ourselves and to our beloved country and to our way of life. If you don't want that way of life, don't live it. There's hundreds of other countries in the world for you to go and screw up if you want to. Why don't you go the fuck to Canada? They're already screwed up. Maybe you could screw it up some more, although I kind of doubt that a little bit. My beloved country is my home, my strength. It's for her that I will stand. When her anthem plays, my hand will be on my heart. When her enemy comes, I will stand against them. I will stand against an army all by myself. I will do that for my country. And if you don't want this country, if you don't love this country, I do not want you standing beside me. If you don't love this country, stay the fuck out of my way when the war comes. Anybody who gets in my way, anybody who I perceive as the enemy who's trying to destroy my country, I will steamroll over you. I'm looking at you, Russia, England, Germany, France. I'm looking at you, China, Japan, North Korea. You're not fooling me. Not one of you is fooling me. I do not trust any one of you. You have made wars against my country in the past. The only reason you ain't making wars today is because you know that America's a superpower. And that you will lose. I know that when we are weakened, when we are too busy fighting ourselves, you will come and try to kill us. To try to put chains on us. The chains of tyranny. I know your plans. I know the way you think. I know who you are. Tyranny is as British as a cup of tea. Oppression is as Russian as murder. And I will fight the enemies of my country. And for those of you who are living in this country, as I am, who are you to burn this flag? Who are you to desire to tear up our Constitution? And who are you to tell me what I should think, what I should feel, what I should love, and what I should hate? Who are you to tell me what my character's like because of your perception? Who are you to tell me if I'm allowed to love my country if I'm allowed to love the people that love my country? Who are you to tell me that I have no right to own this? Who are you to tell me that I cannot keep and bear arms? This kind of thing right here. This is what protects people's freedom. This is what keeps the government from turning tyrannical on us. We must invoke the Second Amendment when the enemy comes. And believe you me, the enemy will come. Civil war is close. And I only want patriots standing beside me when it comes. I only want people who love my country to be standing next to me when I make the charge, when I draw my saber and raise my battle flag against the enemies who would trample our Constitution and tear up our flag. And try as you may, Old Glory can never be weakened. Her strength cannot be found in her colors or her bounds. It's found in you, and it's found in me. It's found in her people that stand up for the country for which she flies. It's all up to us. And if we do not make a stand, if we do not stand first with our votes before we have to stand with our rifles, we will lose our freedom. If we have to stand with our rifles against the government, we will surely lose. I'll still fight. I just know I'll lose because we'll be going against tanks and drones and bombs. We have to stand with our votes first. Violence is the last resort. Violence is what very well may, in fact, destroy this country. Abraham Lincoln once said that if America is ever to be defeated, she will be defeated from the inside, not the out. That's how it's going right now. What's going on right now, I think, may be the judgment of God. We have pushed farther and farther from Him. We have turned from Him, and we are suffering the consequences. Just like Israel. Israel with her bombings every day, who has not accepted the Savior yet. Most of the Israelites still believe the Savior is yet to come. They have not accepted the Son of God yet. And they are currently being chastised for it, I think. And it's starting to happen to us. Socialism is tyranny. A monarchy, all monarchies are tyranny. And just because they exist around the world does not mean that we have to tolerate it here when we find it in our own country. We do not have to tolerate King Obama trying to tear up the Constitution. We do not have to tolerate the tyranny of the leftists who are trying to take away our freedoms, our rights to keep and bear arms, our freedom of speech, our right to sing our national songs, as to raise our national flag. And as I have said before, I am very angry at what is going on. There are those of you out there who will find me crazy for some of the things I say. There are those of you out there who will say, no, this guy's just taking it too far. Look at Russia. Look at England, Germany, and France. Look at every country in the world who has not had people who said such things about freedom and about how easy it is to lose our freedom. Look at what happens to them. Hell, they've never been free. They've never been free. They do not have a Bill of Rights. They either have a king or a parliament to make all the laws and subjugate all the people. When we start allowing hate crime laws, we go against the Constitution. When we bow down to socialists, to the Democrats, we're bowing down to the racists in this country. Those are the true racists. Trust me. When you equate people's opinions, people's beliefs to their color of their skin, that's racism, and that's what Democrats do every day. When you say that you have to help out minorities because they can't make it on their own, which is what Democrats do with their social programs, that's racism. We have to stop looking at each other based on how we look. And we have to look at each other based on how we are, how we act, how we think, how we feel. We have to look at each other's character. That's what matters. And people have no character anymore. People are socialists now. People are trying to take away what we fought to keep, to have. And the simple fact is that freedom is not purchased in the bloodstream from one generation to the next. It is for each generation to take up the struggle, to raise the banner, and to pick up the rifle. For each generation to pay for freedom in the bloodstream, and to hand to the next generation to do the same. Otherwise, it will be lost. It must be fought for, time after time, man after man. That is the only way to keep it. Otherwise, somebody will come and take it. What we've seen with the election of President Trump, we started to see an awakening. People finally had enough of what's going on in Washington with all the lies, the deceit, them spending our money unwisely, unjustly. Some of the people anyways, have finally had enough with all these social programs, all this craziness, and the racial intention that Obama put in. I mean, it was pretty much disappearing until Obama came in and he made it 20 times worse. I think that might have been his goal. I think Obama hates America. I mean, he is Muslim after all, Barack Hussein Obama. People who want to tell you what you can think or feel or say are tyrants. And tyranny and globalism go hand in hand. They will lie to you. When they cannot trick you, they will attack you. They will attack your family. They will attack your friends. They will attack your property. They will hit you from behind. They're cowards, they're petty, and they're evil. It is time to put an end to that. It is time to roll back every social program and to take the Constitution to the bare essentials of protecting people's freedoms, people's liberties. I'm not saying taking back amendments that have been added on, such as the 13th Amendment or the right to vote or anything like that. No, we need that. We need those. That's how to protect freedom. What we need to do is roll back the social programs and the unnecessary things that do nothing but waste taxpayer dollars. And waste them mainly on Jose, who just jumped the fence illegally and went down the street of Texas and murdered some girl. Who raped some little girl. We have to stop wasting it on some fat ass sitting in mommy's basement playing video games. And we have to start spending it on our children, on our roads, on ourselves, on our country. We have to start spending it on our military, on the border wall. We have to start spending it to clean up this mess. We have to start spending it to make sure that this bullshit doesn't tear our country down. And that's pretty much all I got to say at this current time. I will I'll make videos every now and then, although with the ability for editing. Many of them may not be live, but I'll do some live videos every now and then, see if anybody wants to join up and chat. I always enjoy chatting with people. So, until then, Dio Vindis, Sic Semper Tyrannis. God bless America, and God bless you.